single match that I have had in this tournament. And all I have to say now is it's Tiffy time.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Let me in.
Hey, it's the Turnbuckle King. We are here at Toxic Reign Scandal. This is TBK here. Got another good one for you guys today. We'll talk about, is it really Tiffy time on Smackdown? We're going to have a focus on Tiffany Stratton, who is currently a Smackdown superstar for the Blue brand, and then one of the little bit newer people for the Blue brand. Currently just came from NXT back in February. So she's been on the main roster now for a good couple of months, but she's already seen as the future of the company. Let's see who came out to the locker room while we get into it. CeeLo Myers, salute. Thanks for coming out, man. Gerard, who wants to walk with Elias, WWE Universe will soon be walking with Tiffy. Oh, you're talking about walking with Elias, something like this?
For everybody here tonight, who wants to walk with Elias?
Yeah, this will not be about Elias tonight. It will be about Tiffany Stratton. Is it Tiffy time? And that's the question that we want to know. Is Tiffy time going to be coming very soon to the WWE on Smackdown, especially the women's division? That's what we got to know. We got to know that if it's going to go down in that way, in that matter. But yeah, we definitely going to talk about it. We going to talk about it. Definitely going to do that. But yeah, this is something you want to get into. Like I said, we'll highlight Tiffany Stratton, talk about, her career, what she's done, and is it time yet for that? That's the question. Definitely something to check out. But yeah, we gonna check it out. But we'll go over a little her background in a second. And definitely we'll check and see if she's going to be the future of the women's division. That's definitely something we're going to know. What else you guys got to say? I appreciate that, Gerard. CeeLo said, let's go, Tiff. It's her time. Time may be coming. Her time may indeed be coming very, very soon. She's making a quick buzz. Gerard said, yes, it's Tiffy time. She's already at the helm. Yeah. She will be tagging with Nia Jax versus Naomi. That's where it seemed like it's going. That's where it seemed like it's going with Tiffany. I can see it definitely going there. Nia Jax, her teaming up first. And then later on, it's going to be, every woman for themselves in the whole, on Smackdown. Especially when it comes to that championship. You said she's dating a member of Imperium. Oh, you're talking about Ludwig Kaiser. What exactly are you talking about? Yes, she is dating Ludwig Kaiser. And we're saying how lucky of a guy he is to have her and all that such and such. But definitely I'm going to talk about her now. But yeah, we will air it all out. See if it's good. What you guys got to say? A fatal four-way as Nia will turn. Yeah, Nia offer herself. Nia is not no tag team person. Not at all, to say the least. Doesn't need to be. She's a name within herself. So no, I don't see that lasting long at all. And yes, Ludwig Kaiser. Yes, that is true that she is dating him in real life. Definitely some dating in real life. Yeah, they've been dating for quite some time now, for what I've heard. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Tiffany Stratton. Highlight some key notes, some key points about her. Definitely highlight some stuff about her, and see if she's really is it really Tiffy Time coming. It's a time gonna be on the main roster because we know there's a lot of women on the roster today. We know that, but Tiffany, I could very say be at the top of that list. Definitely. So that will be something to check out. But I definitely see her as a future star. No doubt about that in my mind. But let's talk about it, guys, before we get into it shortly. What else y'all gotta say? That's right, guys. Hit that like button before we get into it. Hit the like button. Don't be scared of it. You know my saying, hit something. Don't be if you're gonna be a supporter, hit that like button. Like, subscribe, and keep the notification bell on. Tiffy is a thirst trap. Most of them are. CeeLo, yeah, CeeLo got you that runs, brother. All the hard work and support. No problem, man. You've been here. You've been riding it out with the toxic ring scandal over here, and also not just hit the locker room, but also at the ring over there, red carpet ring as well. So definitely no problem at all. But yes, Gerard, I agree. She's a little thirst. She got a little thirst trap in her. She got a little thirst trap in her. Most of them do, though. Most of them do. Unfortunately, they do. But like I said, that's why it's kind of hard dating these women in this industry, because it's no different than show business, Hollywood, etc., etc. You're going to be dealing with that kind of stuff if you're going to be dating them. Well, if you came here at the locker room, you already know most of these guys in the wrestling industry are SIMPs. They are simps. And that is definitely true. No doubt about it. But that's just how it is. That's what they signed up for. As a good man once said, know what you're signing up for. And most of these guys, unfortunately, do not. They do not know what they're signing up for. They just go along to get along. I got me a woman, and that's it. Got them a woman, and they happy, and they just quit. That's just how they do. Unfortunately. But who? I can't call it. But then again, I can't. Man. Let's see. Toxic Ring. It's Smackdown. That's right. Dude, what's the point of this? How about be quiet and stick around and you'll know? Don't be asking questions. You give it a chance yet. David Rogers, welcome to the locker room. Man, come on, man. Don't come in here judging me, David Rogers. I'll call you out. Come on, man. But you said, how come there are no female sips at WWE currently? Maybe they are, maybe not. You never know, Gerard. You never know. It might be some for all we know. And we had a little Tiffy fan. Dude, what's the point of this? What's the point of this? Because I'm highlighting her. I'm going to talk about career. Is that a bad thing? Buddy's pressed. Sound like you are. You're the one said, what's the point of this? And you really clearly can't read the title. Is it really Tiffy Time on Smackdown? So obviously, if you use your brain, I'm also going to talk about highlighting her accomplishments, her career. So that's obviously what I'm talking about. You ask me dumb questions. Come on, man. Read the title, man. Obviously, I'm going to highlight this woman, which I am now. We got Tiffy Crybaby, which is, what your name is? David Rogers. All right, let's get to it, guys. Now, her real name is Jessica Winoka, if I said that right. But yeah, her real name is Jessica Y. Nico. And she was an American wrestler. She was a bodybuilder and gymnast. That's her background. Also with Tiffany in her history, she's She studied at State Catholic University. She practiced gymnastics and bodybuilding. So she got a little background there. That's why she's always very fit and shape and everything. So that's her history of that. And gymnastics is where she get the Tiffy Time, the prettiest moonsault ever. Also, her physique is ideal for a wrestler. She's already good in-ring performer, and we know her finish is the prettiest moonsault ever. Now, for those you don't know, Tiffany did make her main roster debut at the 2024 Royal Rumble this year when she entered at number 29. So that's the whole thing. And that's right, guys. Hit the like button. You know, don't be a hater like David Rogers. But other than that, hit the like button. Anyway, thing about it is too, she had the great gymnastics background. She has a great bodybuilding background, and I think she combined all that together, and that gave her a great in-ring performances, a great in-ring competition, because she's competing and she's getting better and better. Now, I know she's not perfect. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement, and I'm never going to ignore that. But the thing about it is, it's not like she's a horrible wrestler, because she's definitely not. Some may think otherwise, but Tiffany's definitely a great wrestler. The thing about it is, her moonsault is close to being perfect. It is. The first question I have is, will she replace Charlotte Flair on the main roster? Because if you look at her physique, you look at her wrestling style, look at her mannerisms, the moonsault especially, is similar. She's been quite compared to Charlotte Flair. And I know many of the wrestling fans are tired of Charlotte Flair. Not that some people say Charlotte Flair can't wrestle, some people say she's terrible, or some people are just tired of her. In the past, obviously, was always in the main event scene, always in the world title picture. Whether she was on Raw or Smackdown, she was always around in the title picture. It does not matter what the case may be. The fans were tired of Charlotte for years, and now Tiffany's on the scene. Charlotte Flair is currently out with an injury. Will Tiffany replace Charlotte on the main roster as the new, modern day Charlotte Flair, but with a much, much better moonsault? You got to admit, Charlotte Flair, great decorated wrestler. Accomplishments of what she's done, second to none on the women's division. You line them up. If you look at her accomplishments, no one has the accomplishments she has. Not Bayley, not Becky Lynch, not Bianca Belair. None of them. She's a 14-time women's champion. No one's had the title many times. Now, some could say because of her name, she's a Flair, or because of favoritism, whatever you want to call it, she is a decorated wrestler. I will not take that from her. It's on there. It's on paper. She's a 14-time world champion. No doubt about it. Now, let's see, not just that, Charlotte Flair's getting up in age, guys. She's going to be, I think she just turned 38 this month in April, as a matter of fact. Tiffany's only 24. They're going to be 25 this year. So, WWE they call it the new era. And they're looking for people that are young, men and women. And since Charlotte's getting up there in age, they're going to find someone to replace her. And they already saying that Tiffany is going to replace Charlotte, or she already has. That's what they already saying right now. The thing about it is that an undisputed statement, or is it cap? That's the question. But I definitely would say that if she ain't replaced her already, in my opinion, she's going to replace her, because Charlotte Flair is going to come back. She's going to come back on the Smackdown roster, the same show that Tiffany currently is on. And these two are going to have a feud in the near future. because we know that Andrade, Charlotte real life husband, just got drafted to SmackDown. And you know, husband and wife stay on the same show. We know that. But her and Tiffany gonna have a feud in the near future. I don't know when. Don't know when she first come back or later down the line. Who knows? We know Tiffany's on SmackDown, and I don't think that unless they draft her to Raw tomorrow with the draft. But she's gonna have a feud with her, and obviously Tiffany is going to be put over ahead of Charlotte Flair, and she's gonna be the top of that Charlotte spot as she had it in the women's division. So you guys let me know what you think. Gerard said she's already replaced Charlotte Flair. Charlie Flair. You ain't right, Gerard. You ain't right. But yeah, I agree. That is undisputed right there, what you just said, bro. Undisputed statement right there. Definitely undisputed.
And that is undisputed.
Yeah, she already took her spot. And Tiffany just got there. Let's see what else. The only thing is that they should not shove her down our throats like they did for Charlie Flair. Well, when Charlie Flair was shoved down people's throats, that was the old era. Vince McMahon was favoring her. I don't think we're going to get there with Tiffany due to not just a new era, but there are a lot more women on the roster. It's way more stacked than it was compared to Charlotte's era. Said with the fans pop, they might turn her babyface last year if just continue. Yep, they could. Charlie Flair exit draft. Unless she got some stored, I wouldn't say so. David Rogers said, "Is Charlotte still recovering from her knee injury?" Yes, she is. I heard she's scheduled to return very soon, but she's walking and she's making progress with her injury, as you saw with events with Andrade at the Hall of Fame, with some Andrade's matches. So yeah, Charlotte Flair is coming along, because she got injured in December. You know, I think on SmackDown. But I will say that with Charlotte Flair, she is getting better with her, like I said, with her injury. She's recovering. Because, you know, remember, she tore ACL, MCL, and meniscus. So they said she's supposed to be out 9 months. Now, the way she was covered, she could come back from that sooner than later. But she's gonna be out, still gonna be out for a while. She's only been out 4 months, almost 5 months. But she has a real serious injury. But with the technology today and the medicine and technology, you know, they can repair it much, much better compared to even 20 years ago. Is Ludwig Kaiser on SmackDown? No, as currently right now, Gerard, he's on Monday Night Raw with you know, he's still with Gunther. I know with the period they dropped off. What's the name? Giovanni, but it's still Ludwig and Gunther. So I would say since Gunther's on Raw, he's going to remain on Raw unless Tiffany gets drafted to Raw tomorrow. I like the face-off between Liv Morgan and Dominic, but I hate Dirty Dom's mustache. Yeah, it look kind of weird on him. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Dominic is a bona fide heel, most definitely. But yeah, that's the thing. She could replace Charlotte Flair. Now, there ain't another thing that's good. Tiffany Stratton. She's like I said before, we gotta give her credit. She's only been wrestling for 3 years, and she's already that solid in the ring. We can say it's a natural born thing. She's naturally gifted, naturally talented. She's doing all this amazing stuff in only 3 years of experience. Some people it takes 6, 7, maybe even close to 10 years to get more conditioned like Tiffany is right now currently. Could it be her gymnastics background? Could it be, you know, her athleticism, and, you know, a little bit of bodybuilding with strength? Could be a little bit of everything. But she's definitely getting better. Like I said, room for improvement is always. When I will always recommend that. You can be the best, but you can still have room for improvement. So That's impressive, though. I think it's impressive. I think it's impressive that she's ain't been wrestling that long. She's doing her thing. So definitely, I would like to see that. Yeah, she's definitely not bad for a 3-year veteran, and she is only going to get better as time goes along. Only gonna get better as time passes, but we're gonna have to see how she's marketed by SmackDown, how they're gonna run her, how the feud's gonna be, how everything's gonna be. Definitely, but yeah, it's crazy though that she's good already. But Tiffany also, not only the feuds will help her, but some opponents could bring out the best in Tiffany. She could go against not just Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Nia Jax, even Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, a whole bunch of women. We got the newly Kiana James on Raw that she already had history with. All these women can make her better, a better performer, bring out the best of her as a performer. So, like I said, 3 years, only getting better. I feel like she's only getting started. So yes, it's just a like I said, it'll be very interesting to see what's the next step's going to be for Tiffany. She's already been in Elimination Chamber. She's already been in the Royal Rumble. She's already she's already in a championship match triple threat for the WWE Women's Championship, which will be at Backlash. She's in that as well against Bayley, the champion, and Naomi. So it's a lot. Tiffany has a lot going on for her right now. Definitely has a bright future. You said Giovanni Vinci might return to NXT. Yeah, or be released. Louis better keep away from Vince. I think Vince is laying low. Vince ain't gonna be around anybody. He's laying low. This stuff ain't cleared yet. That Vince McMahon saga is not over. Not over at all. And there's still plenty stuff going on with him. So I don't see that ending right now. And if you think it's done, that's cap.
That's cap. Totally cap.
So yeah, Vince McMahon ain't gonna be around anything. Tiffy Time has done better than Ash by Elegance and TNA. That's not even a comparison. I'm just gonna say that's not a comparison, and I ain't gonna talk about that Ash by Elegance. Dominic Perez wrote to locker room. He said, "Why WWE hired Triple H? Because he has a great vision for the business. Because Triple H helped do a lot of developmental from the beginning. He helped. He was the founder of the current NXT and also the Performance Center, where current wrestlers are signed and they start training at the Performance Center. He's head of creative, and if you look at the past, at least for the past year, most of the Raw and SmackDown shows and the PLEs, they have performed at a very high level due to his great leadership in creative, being head of creative. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, Dominic. That's why they hired him, because he's great at what he does. And if he wouldn't be, trust me, WWE would have then gave him the axe, especially the people that wanted him out of there. So I think that's a lucky yes, I would say. Gerard said, I think you're right. W may not be hiring Matt Cardona, and the AEW may not be. Yeah, that's not happening. Matt Cardona, what they gonna do with him? They know they can do with him. 26 people in here. That's the like button as you enter the stream. Yeah, guys, get that like button up, man. I'm giving you guys good my insight on Tiffany Stratton and why she could be the future and why it's really Tiffy time. But yeah, hit that like button. But anyway, one thing I am going to highlight too, not only was she only been wrestling for 3 years, another thing I'm going to talk about is Tiffany going to be a future WWE Women's or World Champion? Does Tiffany Stratton have what it takes to be a future world champion in the women's division? Will we see her holding this championship, the WWE Women's Championship, or holding the WWE Women's World Championship? Is Tiffany a future world champion? Now, depending on what brand she is, SmackDown or Raw, she definitely, she keep working at it and getting better and developing herself, character and ring promo, you name it, she could definitely be a future world champion. Because if she's going to be leading the division and replacing Charlotte, she's going to have to be a good champion. What show she's on. But she definitely has what it takes. She has everything working in her favor. She has the great gimmick, Tiffy Time, the spoiled rich girl gimmick, little ditzy Barbie-ish type of thing, Kelly Bunny-ish, etc., etc. Promos are not bad. They do some work. In-ring performance is up there, one of the best on the roster. So she definitely has what it takes to hold either one of these championships. Now, if she were to win her first Women's World Championship, it would be the WWE Women's Championship due to her being on SmackDown right now. And we know that WWE is showing history that when a male or female superstar does start to win and get a name, they start them off on SmackDown, because we know SmackDown is considered the B show compared to Monday Night Raw, which is the A show, the flagship show, because Raw came out first and it's on USA Network. For now, they go to Netflix next January, and then SmackDown's the B show started later, and it's on currently Fox, soon moving back to USA Network. So, she will hold this championship first, if I have to assume, and I think she'll be good. Now, when she does get a name for herself and have a good run as WWE Women's Champion, she will later on have that title maybe once, maybe a few times. I've seen this with Alexa Bliss. I've seen this with Bianca Belair. You either hold it for once or twice or hold it several times. Then the draft comes up, and then Tiffany Stratton will get drafted to Raw, and then she will hold that brand championship depending on how she do. I'm pretty sure she'll do great. She did great on SmackDown, and she will be the WWE Women's World Champion, and she will hold that championship. It's just Raw. It's the flagship show. It's the big leagues. You got to step up or step out. That's the thing it all come down to. But I think, like I said, Tiffany, she has to keep working, getting better, training. I think she'll be fine. Stay out of trouble. Keep your nose clean. Don't stay healthy. I think she'll be fine, though. Other than that, I think she'll be great. Let's see what you guys have to say about that. Gerard said, yes, she has what it takes, but let's see how she develops. Absolutely. Like I said, there's always room for development, even if you're very good like Tiffany. Especially if you're not good, you definitely need room for development. You also said as long as Tiffany stays out of controversy and injury. Absolutely. Same thing. Yep, you agree. Same thing I just pretty much said. Yeah, definitely. Got to stay out of that. Joshua Izon, welcome to the locker room. He said it's going to be hard with Rhea Ripley and Belair and Big Time Bex. Well, think about Rhea. Rhea's currently out, so she's not around right now. She could be out of the picture with an injury. Bianca Belair, she's had a few championship runs. She's a 3-time women's champion, so they're gonna keep her. They're gonna keep her away from the title for now. And Becky, she's on Raw. She's the women's world champion, yes, but that doesn't mean that Becky may not be used. And I said this when she won that championship last week on Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch will more likely be used to put someone over, and it will be a younger talent, someone like a Liv Morgan or someone like a Tiffany Stratton. I'm just throwing it out there. Remember, the draft night 2 is tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. We could see Tiffany on Monday Night Raw. She could get moved. Her real-life boyfriend, Kaiser, is on Raw. Maybe they'll put her over there to be with him. You never know. So, said Jade Cargill looks very promising as well. Yes, she do. Jade, I got to see more matches out of her. She's had matches in WWE, but it's been squash matches. I want to see how much development and training has she done since she arrived at WWE, because we both know that in AEW, if you watch AEW of Jade Cargill like I did, she botched a lot. She was a botch machine because she was not trained at all. But when it comes to WWE, she's trained by the best. She's at the Performance Center. I would like to see what the training has done with her, and show her work pretty much. That's all I'm saying. But I don't think she's ready to be a world champion. No, not right now. But she definitely, we have to see more of her. Gerard said Jay is not ready, hence why Tiff has been given a push. Yes, I agree. What's crazy is, guys, Jade is just like Tiffany. Jade only wrestled for 3 years too, and you see the difference. Jade was in AEW when she started. Tiffany was with WWE. It's just Jade is a much bigger household name due to her history in AEW, being a TBS Women's Champion. Jade is currently tagged with Bianca, which will hold Bianca back. Well, we have to see, again, maybe Jade gets drafted to Raw. We know Bianca got drafted back to SmackDown. She's already on there. So Bianca is staying put. But Jade could get drafted. And maybe after a tag team match at Backlash against the Kabuki Warriors, depending if they win or lose, maybe Jade will not be tagged with Bianca. She gets drafted to Raw. Gerard says, speaking of botches, Jade botched on a singles career with singles match with Chelsea. Oh, you talk about the one on Raw, I think after WrestleMania. Yeah. And her matches are very fast, so I got to see more of it. So early with her, You said for anyone who wants to see Jade's performance, go back and watch her botch match with Chelsea Green card. Yeah. And she wrestled her. She was in a tag against her with Bianca, and then on Raw. So yeah, that's the thing about it. Tiffany could definitely win one of these world championships. Now, we do have an interview, and Booker T currently on his podcast, the Booker T Hall of Fame podcast, he talked about Tiffany Stratton, and he has some good things to say about her. So with that being said, guys, we'll get to that shortly. Joshua Ion says, sorry, bro, but I don't really watch AEW like that. I've just been a WWE wrestler since the Attitude Era with Stone Cold and The Rock. Well, yeah, Joshua, Jade Cargill was not the best performer when she was in AEW. They just threw her out there. She was on this little Goldberg streak of being undefeated for a long time. She was an inaugural TBS champion, the mid-card title for the AEW, and she just was wrestling nothing but, she was wrestling nobody in particular. She was wrestling all jobbers in AEW, just to bring you up to speed, and she had no real competition until she lost the TBS title to Chris Statlander, another former TBS champion. But no, Jade needs some more time. Definitely needs some more time regarding if she's ready to become, especially a women's world champion. She honestly should be on NXT to train some more, but I get it. She's a big name, so they had to do that. But other than that, though, we're going to get into the interview. Booker T is going to talk about her, but let's see what Booker T, the five-time, has to say about Mrs. Tiffany Stratton. Let's see. Let's get into that right now. And we'll check it out. Then I will do a reaction to this in the middle of it or play it out. We'll see how it goes whenever I decide to stop it.
Tiffany Stratton. There's a lot of buzz now on the internet. The Tiffany.
To the nebula, baby. To the nebula. I quote that. That's what I quote that.
I got you. That she might really be setting herself up for her first world women's championship run. I know Bayley just got the title, but now Tiffany's inserted into that story over there on SmackDown. Do you think now is Tiffy time, Or does Tiffy Time need to come a little bit later? Let her cook for a moment on SmackDown before they give her that responsibility.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Tiffany won the championship, she would be the fastest rising champion in the history of the business. I really do.
Yeah.
To win a major title like that. And the thing is, I think she's ready for it. I really do. I think you can pull the trigger with Tiffany Stratton right now and you will not regret it. I really believe that. I believe that.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
You know, just watching her maturity in NXT, I read, one of her quotes that, she wasn't leaving, she didn't want to leave NXT too soon. She wanted to make sure she had all of her ducks in a row. She wanted to make sure she was prepared for that moment when she did get to the main roster. And that, just saying that from a young person perspective, let me know a whole lot about her. Coming from her background, not being a wrestling fan per se, and not being.
Now that is undisputed. She wanted to make sure she was ready. The fact she said that I agree with Booker T, that's definitely showing you that she takes this very seriously and she wants to master her craft at what she does. Definitely. That's definitely something that we cannot ignore. So she definitely deserves that. She definitely serves that one of these right here. That is definitely awesome.
And I'm awesome!
All right, let's continue on with this interview.
Being a wrestling fanatic per se, and then to find herself in the business being able to do it so well, it just lets me know that her brain is thinking totally different than a lot of individuals in this business, as well as being a beautiful young woman. And she is so well equipped as far as being able to go out there and get down and dirty in the middle of that ring. She's got everything. She's the total package right now. That's why I say you can pull the trigger with Tiffany Stratton and you will not regret it. I know we got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. Be back in a minute.
Every time I come here, I just have so much.
This comes to there's a good family. Independent group. Wrestling. This is the wrestling.
Get animal. Roddy Piper, all the old boys in there, Bob Holly, representing reality of wrestling, man. Just let you know how far we have really come with reality of wrestling, guys. We've got a big show going down on the 11th. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out. We got Lexus King in the house, as well as Top Dollar from TNA. Going to be in the house. Lexus King, of course, from NXT Superstar, man. So, guys, come out and check him out. Make sure you get your tickets. Go to realitywrestling.com. You can choose your seat. Those seats going to be going quick. Last month, a standing room only. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to get shut out.
And she had some interesting comments about Logan Paul that then
get shut out.
I want to ask you about, did you see, and I know we have super chats and I know we're about to get out of here, but I want to ask you, did you see what a former WWE superstar has been saying out there, Ronda Rousey? Yeah, well, her example.
But to be talking about having 6 damn weeks to work on a match, and it was an instant classic, that's the most.
Logan saying Logan's doing well, and everyone's.
Okay, that's what Booker T had to say about Tiffany Stratton. He said that he believes that Tiffany should be world champion right now if they decide to pull the trigger on it. And I don't know. That's the thing. That's the question, Should she win a title right now? And that's the question. I like Tiffany. But the question of should she win a title right now, and Booker T said she should win a title right now, I would have to say this.
That's cap! Totally cap!
No, it's not a time to win a title right now. Tiffany needs more time to develop. Tiffany needs more time to develop feuds, character, everything. Because he says she wants to line all her ducks in a row to make sure she's ready to leave NXT. And if you just throw her out there, to the wolves, despite her being good, not great, but good, should she win the title now, I would say no, it's not time for that. Gerard said now Cedric Alexander might be released as he lost to Braun Breaker, who is giving a Goldberg treatment. Yeah, Cedric, I've been saying Cedric Alexander was on his way out. For Dana Brooke, playtime's over. It's Tiffany time, not Hammer time, not Clubbering time. Yeah, she definitely doing it, but Tiffany, she should not be winning the title right now. I disagree with Booker T on that. Like I said, this is not the time for her right now. Clearly, she's great. She's good, but not great enough to win the championship. I mean, she's only been on the main roster for almost 3 months. She's been on there since February, the beginning of February, right after Royal Rumble, officially a part of the Smackdown roster. I don't think it's time to put a belt on her. If so, it will be botched. It'll be too premature, and then the fans will resent her for it. And we don't want to do that. It'll be similar to how Liv Morgan on the main roster, and I think she was given the title too early. When Liv had the old SmackDown Women's Championship. So somewhat similar to that. But I don't think she should win that title right now. Tiffany definitely should not be winning the championship now. Not at all. So no, this is not the time for Tiffany to win a championship. It's time for her to develop some great feuds. It's time for her to get it really to her character. And it's time for her to make some memory-making feuds and matches. And it starts off with she gets an opportunity. She's going to be at Backlash. She's going to be at the Backlash Triple Threat, which is a big thing for her. That's not nothing to sneeze at. You're going against seasoned veterans. He's already in the ring with, the champion Bayley, a well-seasoned veteran, and also Naomi, another veteran. 2 women, one was a current champion, which is Bayley, and another one that's a former women's champion in the name of Naomi. So she's already in the ring with veterans, and that we can't ignore that. And that's definitely awesome, to say the least. So I don't think it's that time to give her a title run. That's just way too premature. You will regret putting a title on her right now. I think that would be the worst thing you could do. This is not time yet. I don't think it's time. Joshua Izon says, same concept, different players. Point taken, Joshua. Liv Morgan is not championship material. Still, she's got better for what she used to be. When she came back from injury, she's actually getting better. She's not as uncoordinated as she was prior. She's gotten better, and she's going to win that women's championship at some given point. Whether people like Liv Morgan or not, she's going to win that championship against Becky Lynch. I could see that very well happening with her. So, yeah, but I think she has what it takes to win that championship. Yeah, I think she's got better for what she used to be. I think she got much, much better. Ivar may be similar to NXT like Baron Corbin was for a while. Yeah, well, Ivar is solid. It's just Ivar, what are they going to do with him? He may not be the thing good. It's just maybe management doesn't have a, some type of character or type of storyline for you. If they don't have a storyline, it's either you go NXT or you're released. It's one or the other. That's the whole thing what it comes down to. It's one or two things. It's going to go down. They can take it how they want it. Baron Corbin, this is last chance, speaking of which. Well, let's think back to Tiffany. Will Braun Breaker be given a manager as mouthpiece? Not right now, but I can see having with Paul Heyman in the future. I could definitely see that happening in the near future. Thank God Booker T isn't the Booker, so make stupid decisions. Like, yeah, I agree, Gerard. I agree. Yeah, that's just not a good decision. I know you work for WWE, Booker T. I know you was also, I'm saying not work, but you're still also on NXT. I understand that too, but you know good and well, Booker T, that she is not ready for a women's championship run right now at this given point in time. Despite her talent, she hasn't been on a roster that long. So no, this is not the time for Tiffany to win a title. And speaking of which, like I said, I will say, despite what Booker T said, this is a championship match she's going to be in. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. She may even be the star of that match. I can very well see her being a star of that match. I can see her very, very well a star. Tiffany could outshine Naomi and even Bayley in that match. And she could, do her thing in that match and just take over the match and maybe even have us thinking she could actually win the women's championship in that match at Backlash. Will she win? No. Then, especially Bayley, as she's on a babyface run with the championship. So no, she's not ready for a championship run. Not at all. You said at KDH, I want you to check out Billie Starkz as she's the next big thing on Independence. Yeah, I think you mentioned her before. I gotta look into Billie Starkz. What about Zaya Brookside? Anybody familiar with Zaya Brookside from TNA? Watch many of her matches. I've been hearing her name a lot too lately. I think she's been buzzing around TNA and the independent scene. Does anybody know anything about Zaya Brookside? Is she good? Is she solid? Is she average, overrated? What's the deal with Zaya Brookside? I would like to know more about her as well. Joshua Ion said Tiffy isn't all the way ready yet. She has to evolve into what she is. It's like coming from college to the pros. Just because you were good in college, pros are a whole different game. You are spot on, Mr. Joshua.
And that is undisputed.
Yeah, Tiffany's not ready yet for a championship run, unfortunately. Isn't it funny Booker T was Harlem Heat with a Texan accent? Yeah, Harlem Heat was just character. He never was, they was never really in Harlem. That's just a storyline. Oh, Tiff will get the loudest pop. Just look at Elimination Chamber down under. Yeah, she did get the huge pop there. Like I said, she could steal the show in this match to be the star of this match. That doesn't mean she necessarily have to win the women's championship in this match. Just because you're the star of the match and you steal the show does not mean you have to win. I give you a pure example. WrestleMania 22. Edge faced against Mick Foley in a hardcore match. That match stole the show. Edge was the star of WrestleMania pretty much. He did his thing. But was that a main event match? He did win the match. Edge did win, but it wasn't the match. It was just a match that stole the whole WrestleMania event. Gerard says Zaya Brookside was an NXT UK. She is up and coming wrestler, but nothing special as a promo needs work. Okay, I've been hearing a lot about her on social media with X and Instagram. I know she's in TNA right now, and I think they show her on AEW as well. I know she's a little small petite wrestler, but I've been hearing her name like crazy. But like I said, not to ignore Tiffy Time. Tiffany is going to do her thing in this match. And this is actually one of the matches I'm looking forward to. We know Backlash is not a big event. We know it's after WrestleMania. We know it's pretty much Backlash is starting new storylines, and maybe some are WrestleMania rematches. But I did not have no high expectations for Backlash. But this is one match I'm looking forward to. I'm actually looking more forward to this match. Just is up there of Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, definitely something I'm going to look forward to and see where it goes. Because Tiffany, this could be a future showing us that Tiffany's going to be the future women's champion of the Smackdown brand. So Tiffy Time will bring ratings to SmackDown in women's wrestling that Tony can't do with female roster AEW. No, Tony can't do nothing. Tony can't even sell himself when he's getting beat up by the new elite. He can't even do that. He can't even sell a neck brace going to a football meeting. He didn't even sell that off right. So no, definitely he can't do nothing. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton, she has a lot going on. Like I said, we gotta remember too, not only before she came to the main roster, we have to know too that Tiffany was an NXT Women's Champion. She held this title for a while. Former NXT Women's Champion, and she was back in NXT back in 2021. She was a very solid NXT Women's Champion. She won it at Battleground. It was a vacant title. It was a finals tournament came down to her and Lyra Valkyria, another former women's NXT champion, and she won. It was a great solid match at NXT Battleground last year. And she lost the title to Becky Lynch. She has some good match with Becky, but she definitely did her thing. Excuse me, she did her thing. So Tiffany definitely has a great upbringing for NXT, and now I can see a great future with her. Alongside everything else she's doing, SmackDown, everything, heel persona, everything good. She's solid. Joshua Iron said, I think Bayley is definitely going to keep the title. She didn't come this far just to come this far, especially with all the drama from Damage Control. No, not at all. None to say the least. I agree. She's definitely not going to lose. I'm saying that Tiffany could be the star in that match. I'm saying Tiffany could steal the show and outshine not just Naomi, but even Bayley. She can outshine her. It does not mean she necessarily has to win, though. So definitely, but like I said, she held the NXT Women's Championship, I want to say, for 5 months. 5-6 months she held onto that belt. So she was a good NXT Women's Champion. Gerard said, what is Steven Regal currently doing? He's a talent and development vice president of global. He's pretty much in charge of that stuff. And his real life son, Charlie Dempsey, who's on NXT, he's also the NXT Heritage Cup champion. He's also, that's all he's doing. He wanted to be around his son, and he also wanted to be back with WWE as AEW was horrible. Steven Regal is currently sipping on Tea County's cash. Yeah. But Gerard said Tiffy will steal the show, and as I said, will bring ratings to WWE Women's Wrestling. She will bring ratings there. She is entertaining, and she's going to have a great career. But I just want to see if they're going to draft her to Monday Night Raw following tomorrow's draft. I want to see if they just used her to have the backlash match with Naomi and Bayley, and then they're going to ship her off to Raw. Remember, Nia Jax just came from Raw to SmackDown. Maybe Nia Jax takes Tiffany's spot as the heel, feuding for Bayley's WWE Women's Championship. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind as well. So that could be the thing. Because Tiffany, she has a great promos, everything. Look at the prettiest moonsault that she do. Great, pretty moonsault that she does when she comes into do her finisher.
To stare at this, the prettiest moonsault ever.
Yeah, so that's her good, solid, almost perfect, prettiest moonsault ever. And then we know she could talk. We know Tiffany could talk.
Single match that I have had in this tournament. And all I have to say now is it's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. The Grizzled Young Veterans debuted at AEW. Yeah, I heard about that. And lost the Acclaim was a bad debut for GYV. This is what I think about that situation.
You just made the list!
Yeah, they made the list. Grizzly Young Veterans, they don't know what they want to do. You were just a TNA, compete for TNA World Tag Team belts a couple months ago. Now you're doing that. Come on now. Tiffy did the prettiest moonsault 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, she's making a statement, but I can see her very well going to Raw. She go to Raw. I can see her very well do that. Thing about it is, will Tiffany run the women's division in the near future? That's another question I have. Could you see this woman run the future of the women's division? Could she very well do that? That's a possibility. Very good possibility. Joshua said, let's just say, for some reason she does win a title, Maria does come back. She's coming for blood, so either way, I don't think it will last long. Yeah, can't forget about Rhea. Definitely can't forget about Mommy. But yeah, Tiffany, I still see her running the women's division in the future. Now, we got the future. We're talking about the future now. We could say Jade Cargill. We could say Jade. We could say Tiffany. We could say Kiana James. We could also say Liv Morgan. We could say Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is now, and I would say future as well. Now, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bayley, those girls are right now and going to be soon the past. Those three are not going to be around. They've been around 10 years. So Bayley and Becky, who are champions for each brand. Charlotte definitely. Nia Jax definitely. Those are the right nows. Tiffany, Kiana, I would say too. She do a little work there. Kiana, Tiffany, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, maybe. Also say, yeah, Naomi is a right now too. She just came back. That's the future as of now. But remember, with draft tomorrow, we could get Lyra Valkyria. We could get her later on. Roxanne Perez, who's also great for the who's current NXT Women's Champion. So it's a lot of future of this division, and I think Tiffany will be at the top of that list. Gerard said Tiff would have to grow into maturity, but she has surpassed Carmella and is facing Alexa Bliss fanfare when Alexa was getting popular, handling with the what chance in the crowd. True, but when Alexa was competing, Alexa that had this kind of competition, all she had was Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley, and Sasha. Tiffany had way more than that. Way more competition than that. She has way more competition. Like I said, Tiffany got a lot. There's a lot of girls in this division, and they're good. Not only they look good, some look good, they actually are good in the ring. Rhea Ripley, good in the ring. Liv Morgan was very lousy. She's starting to get better compared to what she was. I know some people still don't like Liv Morgan. She got better. And believe it or not, she's going to be a future women's champion for the section. She already been a women's champion. She's going to be women's champion again. Let me rephrase that. She will be women's champion again. Somewhere down the line. I can see her beating Becky for that title. So, imagine Alexa returns and competes with Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany will mop the floor with her. Easily mop the floor with her. I don't see Alexa don't hold a candle to Tiffany. Alexa, she's another one that's average. She got better, but she was not all that at first either. Alexa Bliss, yeah, she's all right. She's all right. I'll say that she's all right, but she ain't nowhere near as good as Tiffany. No, can't hold it down like Tiffany. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Not one bit, for that matter. But we'll have to see what the next move going to be for Tiffany Stratton, because she definitely comes and goes, and she's so smooth and fast with it. Tiffany hits you with the moonsault, 1, 2, 3. This move 1, 2, 3. Eva Marie might come and cost Tiffany the title. Keep Eva Marie away. Now that's a thirst trap. You talk about a thirst trap, Gerard. That's a thirst trap. That's the queen of thirst trap, Eva Marie. Keep her away on her round. Joshua said, I know Shayna Baszler's old, but I still want to sleep on her. People who do usually go to sleep. I like Shayna Baszler. My question is when they going to put the title on her, though? She's in a tag team with Zoe Stark on Monday Night Raw. She's now, if I'm not mistaken, I saw NXT this past Tuesday. She's going to be involved in Lola Vice's corner of the NXT Battleground fight between Natalya and Lola Vice. And Shayna Baszler is going to be in her corner. What are they doing with Shayna? She's all over the place. I would like for her to win the women's title. She should have been women's champion 4 or 5 years ago. But they didn't do it, did they? So I don't know what's going on with Shayna at this point. I really don't know what the whole deal is with that. I just don't know what they're going to do next with her. So I'm not sure with that. I'm not sure with that at all. Yeah, so I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, a lot of people are getting lost in the shuffle. That's how stacked this women's division is. You're going to have people that we want to see as world champions, but they can't because the roster's too stacked or there's no storyline for them. And Shayna Baszler is a key example of that. So we don't know what's going to happen. Gerard says Zoe Stark has lost momentum big time. Yeah, she's another one. She started off strong. She's alongside Trish Stratus. I thought they were going to do something with her. She took out Trish Stratus. She would beat Becky Lynch in a match. And poof, that's that. No, she fought Shayna Baszler one-on-one. Shayna beat her. Now they're a tag team. Like, that's it? Is that it? I mean, that right there, the way that was done, that goes on my list. I don't care what nobody say.
You just made the list!
So yeah, that makes the list right there. That definitely makes the list. But, who knows? Who knows? Now I know, another interview we got coming up. I know Tiffany Stratton, she talked about her time. She was on Busted Open not too long ago. Now remember, Tiffany wasn't even on the card at WrestleMania 40. No one peeped that. Tiffany Stratton was not on the WrestleMania card, but she was on the Elimination Chamber card and also in the Royal Rumble. But she talks about that and she's quite humble. I got to give that to her. She's quite humble. Quite humble. I got to give that to her. And we'll pull that up in a second.
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. We go through a lot every day and lose.
Back here on Busted Open, Dave LaGreca, Tommy Dreamer, Mark Henry, and somebody who we've had on the show before, but now we get to do it live. And here we are in Philadelphia, and I don't know about you guys, but most people call this WrestleMania week.
Okay.
But I call it Tiffy Mania week.
Oh,
because it's Tiffy Time. Right
It's
here
Tiffy Time.
on Busted. That's right. It's Tiffy Time, and we bring in Tiffany Stratton, who joins us here on Busted Open. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Do you actually have a podcast called Tiffy Time?
I don't, but I should start.
You should.
one.
Yeah.
You should start it.
Trademark your stuff, young lady.
You need to do it before somebody else
I
does.
know.
Yeah.
People have been telling me that.
But here it is, WrestleMania. And you've worked hard, and you have done so much, and you have grabbed people's attention, not only in NXT, but now on the main roster. So now when you see all the pomp and circumstance that surrounds WrestleMania here in Philadelphia, and this is going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, like, what's going through your mind during this whole week?
Yeah, I think it's just so cool to be a part of, especially like as a SmackDown superstar now. I feel like last year I was in NXT. I was still kind of, coming up. And unfortunately this year I don't have a match. So it does kind of feel a little bit different not having, any matches on Stand and Deliver on WrestleMania. However, like I completely understand, like I just got called up, the storyline, like it just would have been way too quick for it to really mean anything.
Important to learn that already. Mark, Bully, myself, we did a whole master's class about getting to WrestleMania. You have been a star on the rise. You went quickly through that developmental system. Rightfully so. You worked your ass off to get there. Now it's a whole other
she
level.
was good too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Like the
saying.
backflips and like just going off.
I
the
said
top.
one of the fastest rising stars I've ever. A star from
Ever
day
saw.
one, from her presentation to there. But then when you come to the main Raw and you just saw the Royal Rumble, you had Naomi's return. You have Jade show up. And like you said, then you get called up. Like you have to really now even work harder, if that's even
Exactly.
harder to do. What are your goals for SmackDown and being there? Because yes, there's what we say, there's a lot of real estate that's already taken on the show, and we discuss about it with the main event with Cody and Roman and The Rock being involved. Where are you going to jump in?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, I really want to get a meaningful storyline going. I don't want to just have, one-offs and stuff. I want to build to something, maybe like a SummerSlam or even Backlash. But yeah, just meaningful storylines, maybe something with Bianca Belair. I know, we've had a couple tiffs back and forth. I think her and I would match up very well. I respect her so much in the ring, and I think we have very similar styles. So I think something with Bianca would be really cool.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, especially with all of the interactions that y'all had. Like it's brewing.
They want it too on Twitter. They're like, "Ooh, I want to see Bianca versus Tiffany so bad."
This is a compliment, and I hope you take it as one.
Uh-oh. Is it a backhand compliment?
No, it's not a backhand compliment.
Okay, sure.
The first time we talked to you, we were like, me, Tommy, and Bully. Remember that? We were like, wow. We knew right away that you were a star, but like, what the attitude? Like, wow. And it actually bode well for you because I think it grabs people's attention. It forces people to be locked on you. But it sounds like you've mellowed a little bit since you've come to SmackDown. Do you think you've kind of mellowed just a little bit?
Yeah, I think, as such an over-the-top character, there comes a time when you have to kind of be more relatable, because I'm kind of over right now, and I don't want to always be like this over-the-top, Tiffany's Epiphanies, Tiffy Time. Like, I love all that, but I also want to be like a relatable person. And
Interesting.
Yeah. So I just feel like, character development is very important in developing my character, is kind of what I'm getting at now.
Yeah, because like people need to be emotionally invested in you. So you grab people with the aura and your attitude. But if people are going to watch you every single week, especially on a show like SmackDown, in some way you're going to have to relate to the audience as well. And wow, I mean, is that something that was taught to you? Is that something that you realized on your own? Did somebody have a conversation with you? How did that go?
Yeah, I kind of realized it when I was cutting my promo, and I always put on this higher pitched voice, and I feel like it's just not really who I am to my core. So I'm like slowly kind of trying to tone that down a little bit and not act like or seem like.
I just want to notate here, Tiffany seems very, very humble, and she seemed like I said earlier, very all about her business, and I can see her definitely maturing to a great superstar in the near future. With that being said, let's continue.
Like I'm playing a character anymore,
I like it.
Right.
I like
Interesting.
You mastered the promo. You mastered the aerial and gymnastics, athletic side of it. Are you working on your ground game? Are you working on takedowns? Are you working on the facet of the fight more than the wrestle?
Yeah, so that's something that I've definitely been working on. I go to open ring and I'll get in the ring with someone and we won't call anything. We'll just work on the fly. And I think that's something everybody should do is, work on the fly, not call anything and stuff like that. And, put a hold on someone and tell them work out of this 3 different ways. So that's kind of something that I have a weakness in, but I'm also working at it as we speak.
That's awesome.
That's
It's awesome
awesome.
that something like that called Open Ring. Just sitting here talking to you, and yes, like we were also all impressed with your ability to speak. There was they don't do it anymore. A set, Roddy Piper style, your own Piper's Pit. I think you'd be great at that. I think you'd be a great host that could also stir the pot amongst the others. So think of that something for if you're trying to find your groove, because you would always be on television. You look at The Miz, when The Miz would do stuff like that, you'd always be on television. And with the physicality that you can also deliver, there could always be a payoff to that story.
I got one for you.
Tiffany's Epiphany.
Nope. Tiffy's
it?
Tea Room.
Ooh,
spill the
Tiffy
tea.
Time.
Yeah.
Spill the tea. You like saying,
Spill
I'm
the
going to talk
Tiffy
about everybody.
Listen, I know you got to go.
You're welcome.
Stir it up,
Thank
people.
You got to go because there's a
You're
lot of
welcome,
media. A lot
too.
of people want
This is
to.
great.
A lot of people want to talk. But you know what? Tiffany, I'm gonna say this straight up. I disagree with Tommy and I disagree with Mark Henry. These guys are legends, but I disagree with them because as a fan, I don't want to see you doing Tiffy's Tea Room. I don't want you doing anything like that. I want to see you in a main event match at WrestleMania next year. That's what I want to see you in. I don't want to see you in a talking
You're
segment.
just trying to make yourself
Because it didn't work out. It didn't work out for Roddy
we
Piper
don't want
to
you
do
to
Piper's
wrestle.
Pit to
We
get
don't want
to
you to
I
wrestle.
want when they talk about Tiffany Stratton, it's in the same sentence as Becky Lynch, Charlotte. That's what I want
Yep.
for Tiffany Stratton.
Sorry, Roddy.
And that's what I want when I
Didn't work
come
out
to
for you.
WrestleMania. Tiffany, thank you so much for your time. You're busy because it's not just about the matches on Saturday and Sunday. It's about the whole week. It's about media. It's about interviews. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
All right, that was Tiffany Stratton on Busted Open Radio. She was with Mark Henry, Dave, whatever his name is, and Tommy Dreamer. It was asked about the character development. She says she wants to be very good interview. Says she want to be relatable to the character. I just had to say this, and I think Gerard said it. These guys were sucking up to Tiffany too much, just caping. I think Gerard, let's highlight your comment. Yeah, it was a lot of pandering, and I see this a lot in wrestling. Not just these guys. I see these other podcasters. I see the people that's associated with WWE. Their names shall remain nameless. Men, women, they do all this extra sucking up to the wrestlers and to the officials, or management of WWE, and they do all that so they can have a job with WWE. They can always have some work, and there's nothing wrong with an honest, unbiased opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything doesn't have to be great, great, great. I know they all say, "Oh, this is great, this is great." You agree with everything. Like, there's no constructive criticism. Like, if there's somewhere in the rule book, you can't say nothing bad about any WWE superstar, male or female. I mean, that's the only thing I noticed. It ain't just these guys. There's other ones too. We see them in the YouTube space, X, Twitter. We see them in the WWE press conference. These people know who they are. They just be caping. They had these weird responses, and you could tell that they're not genuine. They say anything like, "Oh my God, I love this, I love that," or a girl, for example, or the guy say, "I love this, I love that." And they have their own little separate podcast. They just do all this caping and all this pandering crap, and then we know they suck ups, and we know they just want I call them bootlickers. They're bootlickers. That's the thing. But other than that, good interview. Yeah, Joshua said here, Mark Henry is still very knowledgeable about WWE. Gotta think he's been a game since the 90s. Just because he's not active, you can still take knowledge from OG of the game. Absolutely. Mark Henry definitely is a veteran. Lots of experience in WWE. He's seen a lot. Mark Henry was in the Attitude Era when he was known as Mark Henry Sexual Chocolate. Very funny character. And he was also, before that, he was in the Nation of Domination along with Farouk, The Rock, D'Lo Brown, and The Godfather. He's had a lot of history. Then, of course, when he won the world title, Hall of Pain, Mark Henry. But yeah. Joshua said here about Shayna Baszler. Shayna kind of gives me the Randy Orton vibe. She usually turns her back on all her partners and does better on her own. Yeah, I would prefer her on her own, but I think they're going to keep her in the tag. because I don't think there's no story for her how they could build her. I would still like her to win the women's title one day, women's world title or the women's championship, don't matter, at least before she retires. Or God forbid she gets a very devastating career in the injury and then she can't compete anymore. Let's hope it doesn't come to that and she gets a world title before she retires at least. Is Zoe Stark? That's I thought nothing's confirmed, Gerard, about that. She seemed like she may be. I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Nothing's been confirmed. I don't know anything about her marital status or anything. I'm not sure if she's single. Maybe she's just single. I'm not sure. Why is Mark Henry talking when? Why is you said why is Mark Henry talking WWE when he is AEW? Well, during that weekend, WrestleMania weekend, a lot of non-WWE employers, they set up Comic-Cons in Philadelphia. I know CJ Perry, as we know, as Lana in WWE. She was out there that weekend. She's not with WWE either. So I think they was out there and they can still interview WWE superstars. So people got a Comic-Con out there that were non-WWE stars, if that answers that question, Gerard. Bootlicking and simping. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what these other podcasters do. They know who they are. They've been in the game for many, many years. You guys see them around here. Some of them got their own podcast, then they're on Bus. Some will be on Bus and Open Radio. Some may be on WWE, do stuff alongside with them. They know who they are. They be bootlicking. They just play, go along, get along, and I really don't see genuine with them. You also said Mark Henry and Jeff Jarrett are doing nothing for AEW despite the vast experience, and don't get me started on Jake Roberts. Yeah, Mark Henry and Jeff Jarrett are basically collecting a check. Does Mark Henry still say that? It's time for the main event. That's all he does. I don't think he has an executive role. If he does, maybe I don't know about it. Maybe he does have an executive role. Jeff Jarrett, he don't even need a job. I don't know why he's there. Jeff Jarrett is good. He got his own podcast. You know, nobody watches it like that compared to the other former wrestlers. He has his own podcast. You know, he got other stuff he ventured in. He really don't need that job, AEW. He doesn't need to wrestle. I think he just there to be there. But I agree with you. Jake Roberts, at least we don't see him that much in AEW. Not as much as Jarrett. But yeah, guys, that was Tiffany Stratton. I'm sorry, Tiffany Stratton. I think it's Trish Stratus. Tiffany Stratton on Busted Open Radio. And I think she definitely has, like I said, a future. And I definitely think she could. Tiffy Time is going to be coming. Definitely see that happening for her and others. But like I said, it ain't just her in the women's division, there's many others. And I definitely see the heavy competition with Tiffany in the near future, whether she's on Raw or SmackDown. I'm thinking in my head right now, we got Lyra Valkyrie when she come to main roster, Roxanne Perez. We got JC Jane, maybe Thea Hale in the future. Then you got, of course, Kiana James. We got the Beckys, the Rheas, the Liv Morgans, then Nia and Bailey, Naomi, Bianca, Jade. There's so many angles that could go with this. It's going to be great, though. But definitely Tiffany is on her way to running be a Tiffy Time on SmackDown or Raw. And she could be a future women's champion in the near future and running the division. So definitely it's something you guys going to have to keep an eye out for. And I can't wait to see when that time comes. Be like, man, I watched it back at NXT. But yeah, that is all I have, guys, regarding the subject of is it really Tiffy Time on SmackDown? You guys in the live chat right now, and also on the playback in the comment section below. Give me your comments what you think. If it's really Tiffy Time on SmackDown, is her time to be a main event superstar? Is her time to become a future women's champion or women's world champion for either brand Raw or SmackDown? And what feuds and rivalries And storylines are you looking forward to with Tiffany Stratton now that she is on the main roster? And only time will tell what else is going to happen with her. Soon to views will pop up. One will be, can Swerve Strickland be marketed as world champion? The next video will be when Timeless had all smoke for all WWE. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. And until then, it is OUT.